Furthur, Melbourne Cup Contender.
It's Furthur who wins.
Melbourne Cup Contender.
Shackleton, Scandinavia.
3-year-old Furthur comes to the Melbourne Cup with just 8 career starts under his belt. The Wildgeist youngster has won 2 times, both victories coming this year amongst his 6 starts. In this video, we're looking at Furthur's last 4 starts, commencing with his second in the Group 2 Queen's Vase back in June. Take note of this race, it's a 13-horse field, the biggest field he's raced in. Here he starts at 20 to 1, the 8th pick, according to bookies.
Hallelujah You. Slow to get away, yellow jacket with a white cap, drops in at the rear. Only one behind going into the first turn, and that's Asmarani in the emerald green, who's dropped in last of all. It was a little bit of a dash to the first turn. Shackleton in the shades of green is up, forcing the early pace, with Karmas in the purple and green stars and Scandinavia in the blue and oranges caught out fairly wide, and now at the end of a quarter mile they begin to run on down the hill, and it's Shackleton who leads up to Karmas, with Furthur in a yellow jacket against the running rail. Scandinavia is handy, a little wider in 4th place. Widest of all, Spinning Wheel in the Silver Silks is seeing plenty of daylight. Titanium Emperor is back towards midfield in a violet jacket, racing just ahead of Devil's Advocate in the raw blue. Al Wassel Storm mid-division up the fence, the white with the green epaulets, and then Rahib. You might just see the yellow cap bobbing away in midfield for Silvestre de Souza. In turn, track through by Pinhole, the pink cap, then the slow starter Hallelujah You with the cheek pieces. Still towards the back of the field, Asmarani in the green and red, and also in rear the nose banded Too Soon. Racing now towards Swinley Bottom, they're heading steadily towards the halfway point in the Queen's Vase. And up against the running rail, it's Shackleton who now disputes it with Spinning Wheel. They're being slipstreamed by Furthur, who's just shading third, to Karmas in a purple jacket racing in 4th. And then Scandinavia, who's a little deeper out in the blue and orange. Al Wassel Storm is in behind horses. Devil's Advocate is wide of Titanium Emperor. And then Rahib, no move yet from Pinhole with a pink cap, who's got about 3 behind. Hallelujah You is one of them, still towards the rear of the field. Asmarani and Too Soon. Racing along the side of the course, heading on now towards the final 5 furlongs and the steady climb for home. Pace has been a fairly searching one here from the outset, and Shackleton and Spinning Wheel continue to push that gallop along. The white-faced Scandinavia seeing plenty of daylight, racing alongside Karmas, and then Furthur with the mauve cap up the running rail. Al Wassel Storm has been angled off the inner as they swing for home, with 3.5 furlongs left to go in the Queen's Vase. Shackleton and Spinning Wheel now joined by Karmas, who's widest of all. A line of 3 as they swing for home. Furthur up the rail needs a bit of daylight. Then comes Titanium Emperor in a violet jacket. Away to the right, Pinhole with a pink cap is plugging on from the rear. Rahib in the yellow is angled out. Karmas has been committed, however, moving inside the 2. Going on here from Shackleton. Furthur, mauve cap now in the clear. Rahib on the right in the yellow is continuing to stay on. Then Titanium Emperor. Furlong to go in the Queen's Vase. Karmas, Furthur, Shackleton up the rail is rallying. Rahib is grinding away in behind. Karmas leaning into the fence. Rahib is closing. Karmas all out. Wins the Queen's Vase over Furthur and Rahib. Shackleton, Scandinavia, and late on the scene, Hallelujah You.
A solid second where Furthur showed he had some grit to keep chasing, and promisingly for the Melbourne Cup, he was surrounded by horses on the bend and he didn't shrink into the background. Next up is the Group 3 Bahrain Trophy. This is over 2,615 metres, about 200 metres shorter than the previous race. Watch for some different tactics from jockey Oisin Murphy.
They're off. Ladies' Day at the Debenhams July Festival underway with the Group 3 Bahrain Trophy. 1 mile and 5 furlongs ahead of them. Scandinavia in the blue and orange is the first to show up as they meander their way through the first furlong. Further at this stage, racing a little isolated. Nighttime Dancer in the blue and white tracks the leading pair, with Hallelujah You in the cheek pieces and Titanium Emperor the early back marker as they begin a gentle right-hander at this point and move towards the end of the first quarter mile. And now Furthur, the mauve cap for Oisin Murphy, moves through to Scandinavia. They race on by a couple of lengths to Hallelujah You, yellow jacket, just shading third, shadowed in turn by Nighttime Dancer, and Titanium Emperor racing last of the 5-strong lineup, as at a decent enough pace now, nudging up beyond 35 miles an hour. Furthur and Oisin Murphy lead them into the turn with the Bunbury Mile about to stretch before them. Scandinavia a couple of lengths away in the slipstream of the leader. Hallelujah You a further 2 lengths back in 3rd place, and then Nighttime Dancer and Titanium Emperor in the violet silks under David Egan is just last. Moving towards halfway then in the Bahrain Trophy, and Furthur setting the fractions here to Scandinavia. Hallelujah You racing on the near side of Nighttime Dancer, and Titanium Emperor firmly in touch, last of the 5 as they move inside the final 3/4 of a mile. And Furthur has just steadied things down a fraction, no more. Leads by 3 parts of a length. Scandinavia just beginning to apply a little pressure now. Ryan Moore, the blue and orange silks. Hallelujah You gently squeezed into the bridle in 3rd. Right on his tail, Titanium Emperor is being asked for more. Nighttime Dancer still 1 place in front of him in 4th as they head on down towards the last 3.5 furlongs. Scandinavia on the right now, drawing up sides Further. Nighttime Dancer has been bustled up into 3rd ahead of Hallelujah You. Titanium Emperor at this stage in 5th is just a little outpaced, and they're about to run downhill towards the last 2.5 furlongs. Scandinavia goes on. Nighttime Dancer, White Cat ranging up as a threat. Furthur looks to be backing out of it down at the rail. Then Hallelujah You and Titanium Emperor climbing out of the dip with a 1.5 furlongs to go. More in front here on Scandinavia and asking for more. Scandinavia stretching on over 2 lengths clear to Nighttime Dancer. They're playing now for places in behind because Scandinavia is powering clear in the hands of Ryan Moore, and Scandinavia wins the Bahrain Trophy emphatically to Nighttime Dancer in 2nd.
Well, that was an awful result. Furthur finished 25 lengths last. On the bright side, the winner Scandinavia went on to win 2 Group 1s, and 2nd placed Nighttime Dancer lines up in the next race, the Group 3 Jeffrey Freer, over approximately 2,800 metres. This race includes horses over 3 years of age, by the way. Check out the Staying the Distance shop now. Coffee mugs, phone covers, mouse pads, notepads, t-shirts, cushion covers, beer coasters. Buy them before they're banned. Link in the video description.
All in. They're ready. They're off. They race for our first, the Highclere Thoroughbred Racing. Jeffrey Freer, blue and white colours of Nighttime Dancer, is the first to sit out in front. A pink cap of Pinhole moves through to be in 2nd position. Candleford in the green jacket to the rail. And between those, yellow with a white cap, is Ambiente Friendly as they complete the first furlong and a bit. Further is behind those, and the light blue jacket of Epic Poet is at the rear of the field. Doesn't look a strong gallop here as they head down inside the final 11 furlongs. And settling down, Sean Levy, blue and white colours on Nighttime Dancer, has the lead. Pinhole, a green, white and pink set of colours for Colin Keane, runs just about in 2nd. Green and a bit of red for Candleford against the running rail Tom Marquand, and then the nose-banded Ambiente Friendly, yellow and black jacket, a white cap for Sean Dillon Bowen. It's yellow and mauve for Sheen Murphy on Furthur, who sits a half length further back and runs in 5th place. Epic Poet, the most successful in the lineup, more than $750,000 he's won so far. Danny Tudhope in light blue is at the rear of the field. But they're now inside the final mile, and they make the left-handed turn at the exit of the back straight. And it continues to be Nighttime Dancer, a length, maybe a little bit further ahead now from Pinhole, who continues to run 1 off the rails in 2nd position. Candleford in the green against the running rail will only be a half length further back as they move down to the halfway point. Ambiente Friendly is still back in 4th position, and 1 length behind him comes Further, and Epic Poet in the light blue continues to be at the rear of the field. So no change in the order. They all appear to be happy where they are at the moment. They're coming towards the home turn. They have 5 furlongs to go. And it's Nighttime Dancer who'll lead him into the straight. Pinhole in 2nd position, but beginning to draw level. Candleford just being moved off the running rail behind those for clear-sighted daylight. Ambiente Friendly is next. Further and Epic Poet are the pair at the rear of the field, but they're heading down to the final 3 furlongs. On the right, Nighttime Dancer is having to work to try and keep off the challenge of Pinhole. Candleford in the green on the left now. Ambiente Friendly behind those. Further got a big gap on the right against the running rail, and here's the light blue of Epic Poet. They're below the 2 furlong marker. Further on the right has come through against the rail to take it up to Candleford. Epic Poet in light blue is still coming there. Pinhole behind this, the Nighttime Dancer. But Further's a length and a half ahead as they run towards the line with Ashim Murphy. Candleford and Epic Poet battle out second, but just second. It's Further who wins. Epic Poet is probably second to Candleford, then Nighttime Dancer and Pinhole.
There's a good result. Furthur wins by 3 lengths, knocking off Nighttime Dancer, who'd beat him in the Bahrain Stakes, and in second place was Epic Poet, who had been a close second to Rebels Romance, a Group 1 winner, and 3.5 lengths third in the Dubai Gold Cup in early April. Next up, Furthur faces his biggest test in the Group 1 St Ledger, a field including Scandinavia, Lambourne, the Derby winner, and Karmers, who had beaten Furthur in the Queen's Vase.
Right position, and they're off. And Rahib actually jumped out very well in the yellow jacket, but going forward out wide Scandinavia and Lambourne on the inside, and they look like they're going to make it a test here. Scandinavia, Lambourne. With close up behind these then is Karmers in third place. A couple of lengths to Stay True, the third of the 3 Aidan O'Brien train runners. Rahib and then Further on the outside, and Tarriance is at the back of the field as they race through the first quarter mile in the back straight. And it's the dual Derby winner Lambourne and Sean Levy, who won this last year on Jan Bruegel, who goes on into the lead from Scandinavia in second. Karmers is third. On the inside, Blue Sleeves is Stay True, then Further out wide then of on the inside Rahib, and finally Tarriance as they now race on the far side climbing Rose Hill, and about 1.25 miles left to cover. Lambourne leads by a length to Scandinavia. A length and a half then on the outside, the Royal Ascot winner Karmers to the outer of Stay True. Further is next from Rahib, and finally Tarriance. The long left-hander around that far side of the racecourse behind the trees, and Lambourne leads the way in the Betfred St Ledger from Scandinavia in second. 2 lengths then back to Karmers on the outside of Stay True. They're followed by Further and Rahib, and Tarriance is held up towards the back of the field. Still on their way back towards the home straight. When they turn for home, they'll have 4.5 furlongs, fully 4.5 furlongs to gallop up the long straight here on Town Moor, and it's still Lambourne looking to lead all the way here from Scandinavia in second. Back in third is Karmers, 2.5 lengths back in third. Then Stay True on the inside, followed by Further. In the yellow jacket, Rahib on the inside, and the pink cap then of Tarriance. They're reasonably well grouped together now as they head on towards the final left-hander, and it's still Lambourne that leads the way. Scandinavia is second, and then behind these on the outside is Karmers, and now they swing for home. 4.5 furlongs to cover. Lambourne on the right, the white blaze Scandinavia. Karmers in the headgear. They're chased by Stay True. Tarriance on the outside in a noseband, followed by Further and Rahib. Lambourne is driven along, so too Scandinavia. Karmers could be a danger. Stay True behind these in fourth. Inside the 3. Lambourne is asked for more. Scandinavia races alongside the dual Derby winner, followed on the outside by Karmers, and here comes Stay True now, produced by Mikel Barcelona. Aidan O'Brien, 1, 2 and 3 is Scandinavia from Stay True and Lambourne. Rahib is running on the far side. Scandinavia followed in second by Stay True and Rahib as they race inside the final furlong is Scandinavia. Far side Rahib is getting closer. Near side Stay True up towards the line. Scandinavia, Rahib closing with every stride, but it's Scandinavia who wins the Betfred St Ledger.
Well, that was disappointing for Furthur. If you're looking for excuses and a reason to stick with Furthur in the Melbourne Cup, there were some comments post-race from ownership spokesman Jason Singh, who said jockey Oisin Murphy got off the horse saying he had wheel spun on the soft ground. There's a link to that article in the video description. If we're to be critical of Furthur, we could say he just didn't cope at Group 1 level when there was a fast pace early. Other positives for the Melbourne Cup are that trainer Andrew Balding has brought Spanish Mission out to the Melbourne Cup previously, and he ran a respectable third in the 2021 Melbourne Cup. You be the judge. Furthur is currently 25-1 in the Melbourne Cup. I didn't see you there. Come over. I'll let you in on a little secret. This year, I'm teaming up with Melbourne Cup Max to help him publish his how to pick the winner of the 2025 Melbourne Cup booklet. This is definitely a must for the once-a-year Melbourne Cup punter, but if you like to do the form for yourself, you'll also find plenty of handy information in the book. So please head over to pickthecupwinner.com.au for more details.
I want to be the Melbourne Cup. I are the first Tuesday in November. Is the race that stops the nation. I am Furthur. I am Maccabee.
Joe Brandon, I agree. Where's your home?